A male staff member at Oconto Falls High School is arrested for allegations of misconduct. Superintendent Stuart Rush sharing a statement with staff and families on Sunday saying the district is, quote, deeply disappointed by the allegations. School officials immediately removed that staff member and relieved them, of their responsibilities. The district is working with families who may have been affected. Superintendent Rush stressing the actions of one person do not diminish the excellence of the staff of the Panther community. Action 2 News is not naming that staff member as official charges have yet to be filed.